Mr. Parks, good morning to you, sir. Thank you for your time. How does an employment sector handle a situation like coronavirus?
Look, it's very difficult, uncharted territory that we're entering, so to speak. It's going to have a huge impact upon us, not just in South Africa, but all countries around the world. We think we need to do basically three types of key interventions. We are meeting with government business tomorrow at NEDLAC on a special meeting to discuss our plans. But we think number one is around a health preparatory plan to deal with those who are infected, to look at quarantine and so on. The second one is around a public education campaign to make sure everybody understands what are the symptoms, what are the precautions, especially at a workplace level. Most people don't know how to prepare, how to manage it, etc. But also the third one is around the economic impact upon us as an economy. Our largest trading partners are China and the European Union. This is going to have a massive economic impact upon us if we can't get our exports from mining to manufacturing to those markets. But also we are an economy where tourism plays a key role. We're going to have a massive decrease in tourists coming to South Africa, which is going to hit our retail, our hospitality, our tourist sectors quite heavily. So we need to have an impact assessment engagement with government around our exact plan. We need to put everything to the table, from looking at a stimulus plan, from both mobilizing public and private financial support, but also seeing what other proposals can we make. Italy has come with a very unique proposal of a 1 month home loans repayment holiday. The United States and Russia have looked at reducing interest rates by the Reserve Bank, so we think we need to have those kind of discussions. We need to plan now because it is going to hit us. It's going to hit us very hard. And if we don't plan, we'll be facing a massive economic impact upon us.
I'm sure many people in the country are going to agree with you, Mr. Parks. This morning, though, as you discuss these various possibilities of how to handle this from a business perspective and engaging with government, what about business owners and their concerns around employees not being able to come to work out of concerns about contracting coronavirus, A, and then B, from the employees' perspective about not wanting to go to work in the risk of possibly contracting COVID-19. How does COSATU see a balance playing out there?
No, it's really difficult, uncharted territories, because it's going to hit the small business industry quite heavily, because those are companies which can't always function without people being at work. Companies which can afford to allow workers to work from home, they should be encouraged to do so. We should be looking at reducing kind of public events and so on. But we really need to look at creative ideas like Italy has done to say if people cannot come to work, they can't receive the income for that period. We need to look at how the banks can assist by giving them 1 month or 2 month holidays from the loan payments, etc. But equally, we need to look at tapping into resources like the Unemployment Insurance Fund, the sectoral education training authorities, if they cannot also contribute to those employers and employees who won't be receiving income, to say, yes, we can absorb you, we can give you some special stimulus, special access to the UF for this period to kind of lessen the blows to the economy. Because some workers depend upon being at work, like in the construction sector, to receive their daily wages. Should get assistance from the UF on that regard.
What do you say to the labour unions, your labour union members, and possibly other labour union members who I'm sure will share the sentiment of wanting to contain this COVID-19 virus? What do you say to employers who are going to insist that their workers come to the office or come to their place of work? If they don't, they're going to lose their jobs. That is a reality, Mr. Parks, I'm sure that you deal with on a regular basis.
Look, I think two things. One is we need to look at the health and the educational options. We can look at those workplaces. There are ways to kind of minimize the exposure to the risk by disinfecting metal surfaces, disinfecting the transport routes, etc., doing some educational options. So you can do that because we can't also just stop the entire country for 6 months, etc. But also, look, employers should contribute, should look at a broader national product, national interest. They can look at creative ways to allow workers to work from home, or they can look at alternative shift options. But workers shouldn't be facing dismissal because an employer is being obstinate. Companies which are bleeding financially have been able to approach the Unemployment Insurance Fund. They have been always willing to give support to companies in distress for 6 months. We think there is space to do it. The Unemployment Insurance Fund has about 176 billion rand in reserves. We think now is really the time for them to come to the party, to inject into those companies, and to assist those workers at the moment of need.
All right, Mr. Matthew Parks, I'm going to say thank you very much indeed for your time this morning. From COSATU, joining us via Skype, speaking about how employers need to be more flexible yet cautious as far as their handling of their staff members going forward are concerned. We obviously cannot bring the economy to a standstill, but as COSATU's Matthew Parks says, employers do need to be aware of the risks to their staff, and of course that goes both ways.